Hello, Force users of all ages and Tauntaun stuffers. Welcome back to Inside the Tauntaun, a Star Wars podcast where we get to the guts of what makes Star Wars meaningful to us. I'm Daniel Dawson, and I'm joined by my dear friends and fellow nerf herders, Alyssa Simmons.
Hello.
And Dino Nicandros.
Yellow.
Yellow, what a great color. Today we are discussing The Bad Batch. This is episode 10, Common Ground, directed by Brad Rao and written by Jennifer Corbett. And by God, we're Star Wars fans.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Star Wars Inside the Tauntaun. This is our podcast opening song. Alyssa, Daniel, and Dino talking about Star Wars. Like and subscribe.
So, Tauntaun stuffer.
I don't like it.
That
I'll be
sounds
honest,
like
I don't like it.
a discontinued, Hot Pocket.
Oh,
You know, or like a Christmas thing or something, or a life day
Tauntaun
thing.
stuffers.
Yeah, yeah, right. This is a life day shopping thing. Oh, make sure you get your Tauntaun stuffers.
It's in the buffet next to the Ronto wraps.
Delicious.
Yummies.
So what did you guys think? Episode 10. I mean, it was a great episode. At least personally, it was not necessarily inconsequential, but definitely at least in the episodes that we've had as of late, it was less inconsequential.
Well, it was more. It was Clone Warsy.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a sense of the word, this is as Clone Warsy as they've gotten.
Clone
thus
Warsy.
far, I think.
Well, yeah, more into we got a little more into the politics,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The transfer from, the war between the Republic and the other peoples.
Yeah.
And the others.
The
And the
others.
others.
Whoever the hell they
The
are.
separatists.
It just dawned on me. Well, it didn't just dawn
It
on me,
just
but I think
crimson dawned on you.
it just crimson dawned on me. Or rather, I think we knew this, but I just forgot that.
Well, what is it,
Bad
Dino?
Batch has- Well, I'm going to start with a story. No,
Oh, wow.
Okay, all right.
No, that the Bad Batch hasn't pieced together that Palpatine was behind the war.
Right. Yeah, the only...
But they're still ignorant to this
Mm-hmm.
information.
Yeah, because, wait, remind me, did even Rex know that? Did he find out?
Rex figures it out through... I
Ahsoka.
think he pieces it together through his interaction with Fives, and then, Ahsoka kind of figures it out as well. I don't remember if they explicitly talk about it, but I assume Rex is pretty...
He's, figured it out.
aware. Yeah, but this gang, they're coming into contact with a senator who I think has kind of pieced it together a little bit.
You mean the
Yeah.
modern Major General from Pirates of Penzance?
Avi Singh, modern Major General.
Yeah. Yes, I am the Major General. I was waiting for him to whip out a song. My God. Well, what do you say? Should I go through this thing? It was. I'll do a little recap, and you guys can.
Yeah, just give us a recap and we'll discuss.
Yeah,
Do it.
Stop me if you have some fun things to talk about. But if you don't,
Stop.
don't speak. Okay. So, for Clone Wars fans, you might recognize that we have returned to the planet Raxus, where Ahsoka escorted Padme on a diplomatic mission, and where she met one of the separatists, Lux Bonteri. Don't know if you remember that, but I did myself. We see the Empire taking over the planet and speaking to the people and convincing them to basically sit back and enjoy the Imperial takeover. Oh, God. The senator under pressure of imprisonment or death, super fun, is tasked to reassure the people that the Empire is good for their people, but his balls are indeed large and hang low to the floor, and he says the truth, that the Empire is a bunch of fascist douchebags. He gets arrested, and his droid
That was
calls
verbatim,
out
I
for
think.
him. Say that again?
I think that was verbatim.
Yeah, verbatim.
He's like, you know what? No, I cannot do this. My balls
My
indeed
balls
do
are large.
hang low to the floor.
That
They
Empire
do
lady's like,
indeed hang
wow.
low to the floor, and the Empire is deceiving you.
My God, that man's balls are huge.
The crowd is like,
What?
Good for you. So we
He's over the hill.
Yeah. We see these special walkers with 6 legs approach the crowd. I don't know if you all remembered or noticed this, but obviously, at least to me, I immediately went to where we met Rex in Rebels, because if I remember right, it was the same kind of walker that we found him in that show.
Yes, these are the AEs from
That's
the
Hey.
Clone Wars.
yes.
And yeah, as you said, Rex and Gregor and Wolf commandeer one and make it their home.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Very, very fun. Call forward, call back. I don't know.
Both.
Both.
It's both.
We then go to Sid's bar, and Sid's got a new mission for the Bad Batch. We're seeing, and this is beginning to be a common occurrence in the show. This is
Interesting that Singh and his droid have a hotline to Sid. Here's yet another person who is connected with Sid, a separatist. So
Yeah.
Lord knows who else she's
she's playing
might
all
have
the
aided
sides.
right during the Clone Wars.
Yeah, she works for whoever pays her the most monies.
That's it.
Right. Like Daniel.
That's right. Exactly right. And who has the biggest balls? But that's
They
beside the
hang
point.
low to the floor.
So the mission is to save and extract the separatist senator from Raxus. The gang is hesitant to help the quote-unquote enemy of the Republic, but they recognize that money is money and the war is over, so the lines are hella blurred. Hunter is nervous about bringing Omega along, so he pays Sid to watch over her while they're gone. Omega is hella bummed. Poor thing. I mean, I understand his choice because, I mean, he's like a dad, you know?
Well, and they've screwed up in the protection department several
Yeah.
times here, so
And now that they know that there's, several
bounty
bounty hunters after her, it's like, okay, you need to
Yeah.
actually lay low for a while.
Arguably the situation has worsened, so it's understandable, his trepidation. But yes, so then the Bad Batch arrive on Raxus, and they meet up with the droid, their contact. And then we get a scene with Omega sulking at the bar, which Sid attempts to talk to her and says something really shitty to her, which makes her really upset. And we get this really hilarious look from the other 2 guys at the bar who look back at Sid and like shake their heads no because they know Sid doesn't know how to talk to a child. And I thought that was so funny.
so great.
I just love that these seemingly like
Bar
seedy
hops.
bad
Yeah.
bar dudes like even know better how to treat a
Like,
child.
come
They're just
on, Sid.
mm-mm.
I might have murdered someone yesterday, but I know how to talk to a child.
Yeah, that is not the way to talk to a child. So then we go back to Raxus and the mission, and we see the Bad Batch being super stealthy. Also of note, they have their guns set to stun, which I found interesting. It shows that they, still have a fair amount of empathy towards their clone brothers, knowing that they're not really in control of their thoughts. And I think it's interesting too, because because there have been episodes where they weren't on stun and they were shooting at the clones, right?
I don't think they've killed any clones.
I don't think so.
They haven't.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so up until now they've been really trying to.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think they specifically clones. I don't think they've killed any.
Because I don't know. I somehow remember like a few times where they were like shooting back in defense, but with real pew pews instead of the.
But like
circles.
none of
Stuns.
or I'm thinking of Crosshair's squad, those were mostly non-clones.
Yeah,
They
were
weren't clones.
They
They're
were
not
not
clones.
clones.
They're
Correct.
humans.
Yes. That is legit.
So
So yes, we go back to Sid's bar, and we find out that Omega has a unique talent of being super good at strategizing, and because of this, happens to be super good at Dejeric, which, for those of you that weren't watching for some weird reason,
if you have never seen Star Wars before,
Never seen a single Star Wars
because
anything.
they're pretty much in every single
Yeah.
iteration. But yeah, it's like their version of chess, but it's like with claymation holograms. Very cute. But Derek, Sid takes notice of her really amazing quality work on Dejeric and asks,
she's a great gambler.
yeah,
Who
she's a
knew?
gambler. Asks Omega if she wants to play in tournaments for money, which is hilarious.
Just bad.
Yeah, sure.
Just using
Ome-
this child
Omega-
to make a bunch of money.
Yeah, you're gonna make me a lot.
We're gonna
of
see
money.
Omega in Book of Boba Fett. She's gonna have a gambling.
Yeah, I hope that
So
that's a
great.
common theme. That'd be fucking funny.
She's just drunk all the time.
I just can't stop. Oh my god. So
that's
Omega
fun.
is apparently also good at haggling because she talks to Sid into giving her a large cut of the credits, which I thought was great. We're clearly seeing more and more that Omega can hold her own in almost any situation. She's just
And her descent into sin.
And watching her pathway to hell.
Way to hell. We go back to Rexus, and we see the senator being interrogated. And I think this may be the first time, at least chronologically speaking, that we've seen the Imperial interrogation droid with all the torture droids. Am I crazy?
I want to say yes,
Right?
but I feel like
Because, that's like a very
There are
Imperial...
so many
like,
episodes
the
in Clone
Republic
Wars
never
that-
used anything like that, at least that we know of.
well, no, but I'm trying to think back of when they really started to introduce Tarkin.
Because I feel
and
like all the
when
senators
his
would be super
methods kinda
against
got-
torture. Maybe not
Right,
all
but
of
when
them,
they introduced Tarkin, I'm trying to think of his methods were far more brutal
Yes.
than his counterpart. But I think you're right. I think this
At least
this
chronologically speaking.
familiar interrogation droid is probably the first time.
Very, very fun.
Not so much.
Not so much. And if I understand right, basically it like the way they work is that they like squirt you with some like juice that makes you like feel pain worse. Is that right?
Yes. Well, okay, so you're jogging my memory. I have a Star Wars encyclopedia. We
Oh my God,
all
amazing.
probably had it at some point from like back in the early 2000s or late 90s. And it just kind of a cross section of droids and ships but the description of like the torture droid and all of the little appendages it has is like frightening. That has like a little pincer to rip skin off of people.
Oh, yikesies.
It has, as you said, Daniel, it makes you feel pain on an augmented level.
Yeah.
It does a bunch of other scary things.
Don't you like it's just a fun kids show. Just a
Can you imagine
fun
Vader watching that happen to his daughter?
Oh my god.
Mm.
Yipe.
We never addressed that again.
No, we didn't. Whoops. So
Yep, that's the word. Whoops.
the Bad Batch bust in there and stun everybody except for the senator, obviously. They make their way out of the place. But the Empire has been alerted of their presence. Oh no. Then we see a dope series of fight scenes where they commandeer one of those 6-legged walkers. And then they're able to get back to the ship. I skipped a lot because it was a fairly long and pretty dope fight scene. But yeah, just showing us more like how capable these like the Bad Batch really is. Because they're always outnumbered by so many of these droids or not droids. Actual clones, and they're just like, whatever, we're fine.
Right.
So before getting on the ship, we see the senator regretting leaving his people and considers staying to fight with them. And the Bad Batch convinces them to live to fight another day. And then they leave. Then the Bad Batch gets back to Sid's bar, and we find Omega at the center of attention and winning all the money from the Dejeric tournament. Hunter is upset at first, and then he realizes that she basically single-handedly managed to get rid of all their debt. So, but also Sid mentions that she's never seen anything like this, and there's something special about this kid. Which, leads me to believe that there's still more than meets the eye about this little girl, and maybe more to be revealed later. I don't know. Potentially. I mean, we know that this kid's special, and obviously she's got some good DNA juices in her. But even in terms of, like, Boba and Jango, there still seems to be something more special about Omega. Right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
At least in my...
And she's going to use her force powers to cheat in gambling.
Yeah, right.
She becomes the new Lando, basically.
Right.
Force-sensitive clone
Force-sensitive
Lando.
Yeah, oh my God, what a dream. Okay, so I'm not sure if we mentioned it in the last episode or not, but I think it, just to remind everybody, that Tech revealed that Boba's original name given by the Commandeons was Alpha. And so we have Alpha and Omega.
And Omega.
The beginning and the end.
Touched on that.
They're basically Jesus Christ together.
That's right. Australian Jesus. or excuse me, Maori.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Thank
there
you.
There you go.
Now, I'm curious, you guys. So that was a whole episode. I mean, do we think, at least now, and I've thought about this, I've gone back and forth, do we think that Omega is going to meet up with Alpha or Boba? Or do we think that like somehow like breaks the story in some way? Like, I mean, like for Boba, knowing what we know about Boba, at least in his future self, like, does that make sense for them to meet now? That's what I'm curious about. Because like before I was just like, oh, they have to meet Boba now. But I'm like, would that make things weird for like his choices later in life? I don't know.
I mean, it might explain why he's a bit softer when it comes to pursuing Grogu.
Yeah, I mean, you might be right.
I mean, most of that can be explained away to just his general sense of honor. Like, he had an agreement with Din Djarin. But,
sure. Well, which we will find
I don't
out.
know what we know about Boba and, like, how merciless he is. The fact he's hell-bent on helping him save this child. I wonder if there's I wonder if we're slowly being introduced to the side of him that perhaps values family connection. And so I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily character breaking now that we've seen Boba in a newer light. But
yeah, no, well, and it's interesting because the last time we saw him as like a younger self, he was like hella pissed, hell bent on revenge, and
Daddy got decapitated.
Yeah, like he's had a pretty rough go of it, and I'm wondering if maybe he's gonna have some like soul changing moment when he meets his sister, or maybe not. Maybe he's gonna be like, "Fuck you, sister. There all can only be one."
I mean, I don't know how soul changing it is because he clearly doesn't give up his bounty hunting because he's at his prime when we first see him in Empire Strikes Back. And
he obviously doesn't be like,
very bad people.
I mean, you would, I don't know. Like, when I think, like, character breaking, I mean, I think that, like, all of us would expect them to be like a brother and sister duo team, but, like, if they met. Like, if you met your literal only, like, true family, maybe. I mean, even if you... I just would assume that they would probably spend more time than just oh, cool, nice to know you're there, but I'm going to go do my thing, and you go do your thing, and I never want to see you again. I don't want to see you again.
Yeah, I don't know how they would leave it.
Right?
I mean, I don't...
It seems weird. So I'm kind of like, I'm now back on the side of they may not introduce Boba to her.
It might be safest, but...
Yeah.
And throws a bit of tragedy.
Yeah, like
kind of into
never,
this. It's like, ships passing that maybe Boba doesn't even know.
Or, and this is a big, a big if. Well, I mean, not an if. I mean, just a big, deep dive, because I don't know if they'd ever consider doing this. But maybe that Omega survives somewhere out in the ether until the Book of Boba Fett and we meet her in real life.
In live action.
Well, yeah,
form,
we discussed it, I think, last week, that what if what if she and the Bad Batch somehow, through some unexplained reason, survive through the Civil War?
Hey, if
and
Palpatine can come back for no fucking reason, so can they.
Hey, look, somehow Palpatine returned.
Somehow Omega.
That's all you need to know. Somehow the Bad Batch and Omega have returned.
Right.
But well, yeah, what if they show up as a mercenary group in the Book of Boba Fett, and she's 35 years old, or however?
That would be cool. It would be cool.
I'd like it.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
curious.
wouldn't be mad if they. I mean, as we know, like with Filoni and Jon Favreau, like they don't do stuff in a way that we dislike.
No.
Generally speaking.
Yeah,
So,
generally. Oh my gosh, you guys. I have a friend who did some quote unquote extra work on the Book of Boba Fett, and
they told you?
well, yeah, it remains. I won't tell you who it is or what they did, but oh my god. And I had so many questions to ask this person after the episode comes out. But yeah, I think maybe we'll get him on the show. But but I think they got it through central casting or something. I'm like, really? Oh my god, I need to join central casting now. Jeez.
Well, they're filming in our backyard.
I know.
Yeah, they
really.
are. They're right here.
Truly.
So
But I am curious to see how they explain, if there's going to be another season of Bad Batch, or how they explain their continued existence going forward in a way that makes sense.
yeah,
Like, are
that
they
is
able to
definitely
just-
the biggest mystery right now.
Are they just able to avoid, assuming they all survive, are they able to just avoid the conflict? Do they become rebels? Probably. I mean, I don't think so, because you'd think we'd know about them somehow, but
Yeah,
maybe not.
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, were they in the battle of, what are they calling that battle? The battle of, oh god, Rise of the Resistance.
Which one?
The very end of Rise of the
I haven't been on it. Don't talk about it.
No, I'm not going to talk about it.
Well, you were about to.
Fine.
Fine.
Idiot. Fine.
Fine.
Just witnessed a fight, ladies and gentlemen. For choosers of all ages.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
I thought it was interesting in this episode because it was, as you said, Daniel, a bit lighter on the forward momentum of Omega's origin, and
Sure.
that we dove back into a little more Clone Wars canon. But I liked how they explored a little more of the PTSD element of returning to the literal separatist homeworld, and having to, just months after fighting these people. I think Hunter says, I always thought we'd make it here someday.
Yeah, not like this.
I just didn't think it'd be like this.
Swallow your pride.
And I think about Echo. He was
Icar.
literally mutilated and tortured by separatists.
Right. Oh my
They
god.
made
yes.
him less than human.
I didn't even.
And-
I didn't even put that together. That's. A whole thing.
And to be asked to come save a representative of that governing body, that's a tough pill to
And he's the
swallow.
one that says that line to the senator about you have to come with us,
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and it's that's got to be just super painful, especially just so quickly after that conflict resolved so
Yeah, because
abruptly. And
really, in terms of time, it's only been now what? Are we only a few
months,
weeks in or months?
Maybe. Yeah. And like we were talking about at the beginning, they're still not aware that this was all a sham.
Yeah,
Like, the
right.
war itself was think back to watching Clone Wars, and Alyssa, I'm thinking about you and the monotony of watching all of these battles,
Right.
And just death and destruction, and how it was all perfectly organized
Right.
yeah,
for a single purpose, and everything they fought for was a lie.
It was basically just
when they-
some evil guy playing with his dolls.
And when he saw that the Republic was making ground, and getting closer to winning this war, he tipped the scales in favor of the Separatists. In favor of the Separatists. I mean, it's all... And the clones are just cannon fodder. They're just... They were bred to delve the galaxy into chaos. And once... That's something I haven't really been thinking about, but once the Bad Batch figures that out...
Yeah, what's that going to do to them?
I mean...
Something bad.
Something bad. Something out... Some head ouchies. More head ouchies. My head
Yeah,
hurts.
way more. all of them are going to be like, oh, my head hurts.
You know what? I'm putting the chip back in.
It was better when I...
F this.
Oh, man. I honestly had not even thought of that, Dino.
Yeah, same.
But that's
yeah, very curious.
gonna be really scary and sad
Yeah,
for them to realize and learn that.
It seems like they would probably go there. I mean, the show has gotten dark enough.
I think they have to.
Yeah,
I mean,
if not this season, at least.
If episode 9 was any indication of how forward they're gonna lean into the scaries,
yeah.
I think they will.
Well, geez, it was the third episode, fourth episode, I can't remember, but when our good old what's his face?
When Crosshair kills the
innocent
other
people.
soldiers. Oh, the innocent people. Yeah.
Yeah, yikes. Whoops.
But this episode also humanized the Separatists in a way that they did it in fits and starts in Clone Wars.
Yeah,
but
like the episode with Ahsoka, with Padme on the...
Right.
Yeah.
The general populace of Separatist worlds, they're not bloodthirsty monsters.
No.
They're much like citizens of the Republic who have certain aims and goals, and they want fair representation.
Right.
And Palpatine, and through Dooku, capitalizes on this, this rebellious streak. And,
I think that already
it.
existed, and they just pushed. They
right,
wedged
right.
in.
You just right
in between.
You just light the match,
Mm-hmm.
and it explodes. And
totally.
But now,
so many parallels to like current politics, if you could really think about it.
Well, just think about American politics from the very beginning.
True.
I mean, it is 4th of July weekend. I'm thinking about all they needed was Thomas Paine to give them a little push. The Boston Massacre,
sure,
which wasn't the massacre that maybe it was portrayed as, but it was necessary to portray it as that so as to get everybody really fired up to do some rebellious stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not careful, and we're lucky that we at least had some founding fathers that weren't King George necessarily, but let's say, put Palpatine in that situation, and yikes.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I guess we can be thankful that Palpatine doesn't really exist.
I'm grateful.
As far
for
as
that.
we know.
As far as we know, you're absolutely right.
Somehow Palpatine.
Somehow. Somehow. Wow.
Also of note, and it was bothering me for the entire episode, and then the second
bothered.
I was so bothered, and then the second watch through, I had to go Google it, and the droid, GS8.
Oh yes.
She's voiced by Sian Clifford.
Oh wait, who is that?
So this actress, she plays Fleabag. If you've seen the show Fleabag.
Oh, I haven't yet. Everybody tells me I need to see that. I know.
Have you seen it, Alyssa?
I haven't. It's on my list.
You'd both love it.
I literally, I've heard people be as bold as to say it's like the greatest comedy to come out of definitely at least out of Amazon.
It's very, very good, but she plays Phoebe Waller-Bridge's sister, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge has famously played a droid in Star Wars as well. So
Oh, that's cute.
Fun little connection.
Sister droids. Sister droids.
We have another Imperial officer I don't much like, Captain Bragg.
Yeah, very evil.
She can go to hell.
Yeah, she's rude.
She can go straight to hell.
Star Wars hell. It's just a bunch of Jar Jar Binkses.
It's just a floor and ceiling made of Jar Jars.
Everywhere you step, they're like, woo, woo.
That would be kind of
Can we
fun
talk-
for a second.
Squeeze me.
Can we talk about how Jar Jar, not at this point, but ends up a clown on Naboo?
I know.
He's
Oh, that's kind of
becomes this
sad.
poor street clown on Naboo.
Just
And
a,
he's literally blamed for handing Palpatine power.
just a sad clown. Oh, God.
Oh dear.
Do you know that there's still? I mean, of course there is. There is still people holding out hope that he is a Sith Lord, and that there's even something coming out soon that I think that like was fueling more fire to that theory, and I could honestly see like the writers of Star Wars be like, yeah, let's give him a little, just a little extra match. You know, but like not actually say it because that's ridiculous. I mean, obviously it's hilarious and I love it, but it's not. It's
But
not.
no.
It's not a thing.
No. Mm-mm.
It's just not.
No.
Well, in other Star Wars news, the Visions sneak
Yes.
peek
Can you
dropped.
even believe
Gorgeous.
The
It looks
hype.
so beautiful.
the hype I have?
And I have to say, and I know Alyssa, you are, and I think you are too, Daniel. You're fans of anime.
Yes.
I didn't really. I mean, I watched Dragon Ball Z. That was about as far as I delved into it growing
There's a
up.
lot of Dragon Ball Z. My God.
But I have to say, like having that animation applied to Star Wars is something I didn't know I needed.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. It's there's so much of Japanese culture that
Right.
Star Wars derives from. And like so to see it in sort of its like original context, like
yeah, not to mention the huge fan base, Star Wars fan base in Japan.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
So that's exciting as well. that
Yeah.
they're,
The art looks gorgeous. I'm sure the storytelling is going to be dope. It looks like they're introducing brand new characters and stories. I mean, I'm frothing
guess-
at the mouth.
I had my go see a doctor.
Yeah, I realized it said
I-
frothing at the mouth, and I'm like,
Instead of
where
foaming.
else would I be frothing?
Are your
Ooh,
vaccines up to
gross.
date? Or,
froth.
oh yeah, Daniel took the Russian COVID vaccine.
Janssen and Janssen.
In
What is
Mother
it,
Russia.
What's it called? Doombrega? I think it's Doombrega. Oh my god. I shouldn't joke, but don't
But
take the Russian
Don't
vaccine,
take that
guys.
if
Don't
anyone
take that
offers
one.
you that.
Don't take it now.
Get the vaccine,
the-
but not that one.
If there was a Russian or Chinese government inspired sponsored vaccine, please don't get that one, please. But I don't know. I think my first ideas about Star Wars Visions that was going to be kind of alternate looks at famous Star Wars events. But what it seems like it is now is just new stories.
Yeah.
And kind of whatever they want to do. That's basically what they said in that behind the scenes trailer. It was like if we had an idea, they said, okay, make it.
It sounds like they got a lot of freedom,
like-
which is curious to me because I'm wondering if this is. It doesn't seem like it's going to be like a what if kind of series. Like I don't think it's going to be like a what if Star Wars, or if it's
Yeah, I don't think it's like alternate universe.
Yeah, I think it'll
kind
just
of stuff. I think
feel
it's just-
more similar to the comics that are running parallel
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
other characters, and and we've said this before on the pod, like the galaxy is very large.
Yeah.
So
indeed.
I'm excited to see new characters. It just looks so
Hella dope.
so pretty and cool.
And they've enlisted the top Japanese animation studios. Several of them are working on this.
That
and,
I love too is that we're not just getting a studio, so we're gonna get like a plethora of looks and different ways of portraying the art. So yeah, very very cool.
I just love so much of the concept art they showed in the lightsaber construction and how it had the kind of the hilt of a samurai sword,
Mhm.
kind of wrapped in cloth, and I love that they're really leaning into that aesthetic, and
Yeah,
it
it's
just
gonna be gorgeous.
obviously lends itself to Star Wars because that's where Star Wars lives.
Yeah, I would watch a fully animated remake of all of the Star Wars films.
Any of the movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
truly.
Well, yeah. I mean, we were talking about it at the start of the first episode of Bad Batch. They showed little animated renditions of events in Revenge of the Sith, and I was like,
right.
give us this movie.
gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
We need to see this.
It's like frame for frame animated.
It was
and I was
very
like, oh
cool.
my god.
Money.
Yeah, I would pay to see that.
Yeah.
Ditto.
And a heartbeat.
And maybe some dialogue tweaks. That would be,
Fine.
Oh, you know
That'd
what?
be all
Why
right.
not?
you know,
why
I
not?
mean, I know sand is coarse and rough and it gets everywhere, but
No, you know what,
there's
though?
other ways.
Somehow...
There's other ways to say it.
Yeah, somehow, though, I feel like they'd make it work in an anime. Like, it would fit better.
It would.
It would.
It's
They would say that, and then there would be like rosy like cheeks.
Yeah,
and, like,
exactly right.
Embarrassed like face.
Yes,
like,
exactly
you know?
right. Yeah.
It's almost like reading it like in a novel. Like that line would just hit differently if you're reading it off the page.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Think about how many lines from literature that just would not work as currently constructed if a human being said that to another human being
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
in the context of a scene.
100%.
That's why it's
Artistically, it
always
works really
it's always worrisome when someone who's written a book or a novel is then also writing the screenplay.
Yeah.
Unless that's also something that they do, you know.
Right.
Sure.
You can tell a lot of times he's like, I think the original writer wrote this because
Mhm. Well, great
this
example
feels
of that.
weird.
And she's a douchebag now, but my God,
Oh, I know.
I know who you're gonna say.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Our-
You don't have to go there.
the
It's-
Harry
it's-
Potter lady.
too sad.
She wrote some good books, and they were great, but she had nothing to do with the screenplay of the original films. And then she decided, I'm gonna write the screenplays for the sequels. And they were bad. They were very bad.
They were Brad.
They were Brad.
very
They
Brad.
were a guy
They were
named Brad, and Brad sucks. Yeah. So
And she co-wrote "Cursed Child" with Jack Thorne.
is that right?
Is that right? Is that right?
I think so.
I mean, I believe it. I know
think
she
she had a
a
hand in that
big
as well,
part
but-
of it. Yeah. But again, she had
And it
like
got
a
a mixed
person
reaction.
who writes plays.
Yeah.
Like do it basically. Like she was just there
And-
to
and-
kind of give the
yeah.
blessing. I imagine, you know.
And I have many friends who read "Cursed Child" in play form and decided they did not like it at all because I think
interesting.
they were expecting it. They were in the mind frame, like we were just talking about, of being in the movie.
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
the-
yeah.
Or not the movie, the books, and then expecting it to read like the books,
Right.
and for it to be just have all the great description that she's so good at, and,
Right.
and world building, but the play doesn't necessarily give you all of that in written form.
Right. It's
So I
on
would
stage
imagine-
that apparently it's all the
Right,
magic.
it comes together.
I know that we're going on a crazy branch of, but I'm
I mean, Star Trek, man.
I-
I just,
no, but I was like, I just, I heard that, was it you that told me this? That it's coming back to Broadway, but they're making it into one
Uh-huh.
show now. They're cutting
yeah,
like
and I imagine
2 or
that's
3
a
hours
COVID,
of show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a COVID thing where I guess they just
They're condensing
surmised that-
both parts into.
they've
one
surmised
part.
that people don't want to pay for 2 nights of it.
I mean, but people will, and they did.
People will, and they did, and they will continue to. I think.
Yeah, if you build it,
Maybe
they
I
will
was
they-
come.
going to.
Yeah, maybe they just feel like they can actually make more money doing it this way.
Maybe, yeah.
Or save it at least.
It's that turn and burn thing, you know. Just get more people in and out.
But I just feel like that's one of the properties. And okay, yeah, we're gonna dive even
Here we
further
go.
down this rabbit hole. The Game of Thrones play
Oh,
coming to
sure.
Broadway at some point.
Wait,
in the
Game
next
of
couple
Thrones is
years.
going to Broadway?
Yes.
Get out of my life! What?
Well, so it's gonna be,
It's not gonna be a musical though.
the Tournament of Champions, like 20 years before
Oh,
the events of the original Game of Thrones. So it's gonna be Robert Baratheon's like Tournament of Champions.
what the? And they're turning it into a play?
A play. It's gonna be a play.
Get out! That is so ridiculous. How funny.
It's ridiculous, and we're all gonna be there.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Why not?
Hell, we're probably gonna audition for it.
Damn it, son of a bitch.
So
What podcast even is this anymore?
I don't know. I forgot what we do.
but the Bad Batch.
Oh, yeah, that show.
Sure. We're going to see The next thing that we are going to see. No, I guess no. Sorry, the next
We
thing
have
we
Loki.
see is Loki.
Oh my God, yeah, we got a busy
We have a
week here.
Loki episode and then Black Widow
Yeah.
after that. We'll try to get that out sooner than later.
It is now a certified fresh tomato.
It is a fresh tomato.
A
She's a
fresh
fresh old tomato.
Oh,
not quite as
dang.
high as I expected percent-wise, but people are saying that it's good.
I don't
Where's
think
it
that
at?
I don't think Marvel movies ever are as high percentage wise as you think they would
I
be.
think
Some of them
Endgame was the
some
only
of
one
them
that did
really
it.
good though.
Interesting.
Yeah, like
I think
the
Endgame was the
and-
only one that was like they got it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
and
I think
also
that's still like a 96 or something.
Oh, that's good.
what's it called? Black Panther also got way up there, like in the high 90s. Trying to think of what else, but yeah, it's got like a sensible B.
It's like 84 right now.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And that actually seems about right for me.
Yeah.
Because
Everybody's
we'll see.
saying it's the timing. They like wish it'd come out like
that's it. That's
Sure.
exactly it.
Sure.
And I was going to say, even before I see the movie, I think I know I'm going to love it.
Yep.
For all sorts of reasons.
Yep.
But this is the sort of movie we needed back when they were introducing everybody else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They had a missed opportunity because we probably would have felt like deeper feelings for her in Endgame,
Oh,
had they set this
for
up
sure.
earlier.
Absolutely.
But I'm
But
glad
if you
that they
treat
made
this
it.
if you treat this as like her eulogy,
Yeah.
which she doesn't
Yeah.
get in Endgame because they have to move the plot along,
Right.
then
Spoiler
It'll be
alert,
effective.
guys. Sorry.
But yeah, super exciting things
Yeah.
on the way.
On the
Do-
horizon.
watch this space.
Do either of you have anything else to say?
No.
I have many things to say, but nothing
Not here.
that has to do with episode 10.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
honestly, I'm just gonna start making a lot of fart noises and
Oh, well, that's our cue then. Gosh. Oh boy. And we thought you would be calmer recording at nighttime.
Who said
you had-
that? Who said
You.
that?
You did.
I
You
said that?
yourself
You did.
said that. You
You-
were like,
you
"I'll be
stated-
more mellow if we record in the evening."
Oh no! I'm sorry. I misspoke because
You meant
the
the
mornings
opposite?
I do not.
I mean, I think you just lied.
I'm
All right,
not a
so-
good morning person. So I
Mornings from now on.
No.
6 a.m.
Oh
That'll
my
show him.
goodness. Thanks so much for listening and joining us watching The Bad Batch. This is Inside the Tauntaun, a Star Wars podcast.
It
I'm
is?
Alyssa. It is, even
Oh
though
my
we talked about other things today. I'm Alyssa Simmons.
And I'm Daniel Dawson.
And I'm Dino Nicandros.
May the Force be with you.
Always.
This party's over.